What's going on, guys? Speedy Mormon here from Complex, and today I am joined by the icy girl herself. Saweetie is in the building. Saweetie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, where are you calling from? This looks almost like a bedroom when you were growing up with like posters on the wall and shit. Where you at right now?
I'm in LA, but that's my glam room. That was one of my hairstylists. She's about to, do something cute for me, but I like for it to just look young and fun in there. So I cut out, some pictures of some pretty girls and put them up.
Okay, that's dope. Have you been in LA for the duration of quarantine, or have you been bouncing around a bit?
No, I've been in LA. I went down to Miami to shoot the Tap In video, but I've been quarantined. I've been in quarantine in LA. What about you?
How has quarantine been for you? Are you good? Are you going crazy in the house? How's it been?
But what about you? Where are you in quarantine at?
I'm in New York. I'm in Queens, born and raised. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was the only child for 11 years, and I was a homebody. So for me, this is like normal. So I'm having fun. It gave me a chance to, tap into my creative roots. So I'm enjoying it.
Like I'm exactly the same. Everybody seems to be going crazy, but I'm good. I'm chilling in the house.
What's your sign?
Gemini.
I'm a Cancer. Cancers be low key. I don't know about Geminis.
All right, here we go.
I heard y'all crazy.
Listen, Meg Thee Stallion said that I was good with her. I forget what Gemini, what horoscope sign she was, but she said I'm good. That's all I needed to hear. So we Gucci.
Okay, so then you straight then. I trust her.
So let's talk about the new single Tap In. You just dropped it. We're literally on the heels of it now. Talk to me about the song. Obviously, another iconic sample, but just talk to me about the record.
Tap In is, I have a special gift of making a slap into my own slap. So I love sampling. I wanted to pay homage to, Too Short in the Bay Area. So I took Blow the Whistle and kind of did my thing with it. And the reason why we went with, Tap In, because not only can you just enjoy life and just tap in and with your homegirls, your homeboys, and your family and turn up, but you can also tap in, to the things that you care about. And right now it is the social issues in America. So I feel like it kind of has that double need of, turning up, but also caring about what you care about.
And just the phrase tap in itself, just for someone who may not know, what does it mean to tap in? What is tapping in?
Tap in means checking in, means, you feel me, just checking up on somebody, or it's just, the meaning has so many different ways it can be used. Like, it could be like, oh, tap in with us later. Oh, what you doing right now? I don't know, come tap in. So I feel like once people start hearing it in conversation, they'll kind of get the context of it.
So I was watching a clip from a piece that you did on Billboard, and you said something like, hopefully your girl go top 10, top 5, or number 1. Do you think that tap in the one? Do you think this is it?
I can see it doing that only because it has an underlying meaning of tapping in. And for me, I'm an athletic girl. I grew up a tomboy. It's a great sports song. I feel like you can work out to it, you can train to it, you can party to it. And then you feel me, when you tapping into what you care about, whether it's music, fashion, social issues, friend groups, like, it just got so many things attached to tapping in, and the video is great. So shout out to Mike Hove for, bringing my vision to life.
What have you made of the critical reception of the song? I mean, some people seem to really enjoy it. Some people seem to not enjoy it. What do you think about when you put your art out there for, to be subjected to other people's opinion? What do you make of the reception?
Well, if you feel me, there's like two ways to look at it, because like Erykah Badu said, I'm sensitive about my shit because it is my work of art, and I'm basically putting, my hard work and my personality and my soul like on a record. So it's like, yes, I'm going to be criticized because it comes with the territory, but for me, people just kind of overdo it, and I feel like people kind of get at me for clout. So I feel like it's something that's going to be a part of my journey, and I've just learned to kind of just deal with it. I mean, I know what my purpose is, and I know what my destiny is, so I just gotta, continue to work hard, because if my music, as the critics saying when they're talking like that bad about me, if it wasn't that good, I wouldn't be here today. So I really appreciate my fan base, my family, and my fans going hard, because we are slowly but surely moving towards what my goals are, because I could definitely for sure see Tap In going super high on the Billboard charts. That's something that I do see.
Now, you kind of spoke to it a bit, but it is something I want to ask, and I appreciate your honesty about it. It seems like sometimes people overdo it when, they try to speak down on you. Does that ever get discouraging, or are you able to just kind of push past it and say the haters?
I feel like when you're headed somewhere great, you have a lot of obstacles. And if it was just easy breezy, and if, what if people wasn't even mentioning my name? Obviously, I'm making them feel away. So the fact that I have that power to make people hop on their phone and to write long paragraphs or to even get at me, I have power over them. So like whether they like it or not, like they're a part of the icy gang. They just icy maddies. So, I mean, I'm not really tripping. They obviously care to, be talking that much shit about me. So shout out to y'all. Confused fans, love you, and I appreciate y'all for supporting and spreading my name.
I like that. Confused fans is funny. Obviously, another iconic sample, and I feel like it's kind of been what you've been able to make your bread and butter, right? Kind of flipping a very classic, iconic record and making it your own. How long do you see yourself doing that? Do you feel like you can make a long-term career out of it, or because some fans have kind of grown accustomed to really enjoying the way you've spun the classics, maybe you'll keep feeding that while also, doing your own thing? What do you think the future looks like?
I feel like it goes back to if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I flip songs really well. So I will continue to flip songs for the rest of my career. It's my specialty. It's what I'm good at. So I will continue, taking big hits and making them mine. And I will continue to make my own hits. I have a song that's been circulating called Back to the Streets, and the fan is really eager for that. So that's no sample. So I know that I'm very capable of making an original song. They just mad that, I'm capable of making another hit mine. So whatever, they just mad.
And I guess my last question about this, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, the critical reception that you get sometimes has a lot to do with you being a woman, and maybe even more specifically, a Black woman in the music space. Do you feel that way too? Maybe if you weren't a woman, people wouldn't be trying to come at you the way that they do?
Definitely, because and shout out to all my girls who are doing their thing. I'm nominated for BET in such a pool of hardworking, talented women, and it's unfortunate that because there are so few of us. I mean, there's more than the past, but because people are able to point at all the girls literally on two hands or one hand, we're always compared. We're pitted against each other. They talk about our sexuality. They talk about the things we're talking about. And it's just, we hardworking, we don't bother nobody, but the negative critics seem to have our names in their mouth all the time. And I'm speaking on behalf of women in hip hop because we work hard. This is not all glitz, glamour, frontals, bomb ass makeup, cute ass outfits. We work really hard, and the fact that we're spit on because we're women, especially Black women, it's just do you not understand that our counterparts, males, talk about the same thing, get the same hairstyles, wear the same outfits, they do the same thing we doing, and they praise. So it's just my goal is to keep winning, and I hope that my girls, my peers keep winning as well, because we're constantly proving people wrong. Happy that I have my own fan base that supports me.
I appreciate that honesty, so thank you. You briefly spoke about your high school days. You said you were really athletic and such. If I was to go visit you in the past in your Algebra 2 class when you used to rap for your friends and told you that you'd be as successful musically as you are right now, would you believe me?
Yeah, I would have. And the reason why I would have did that is because I remember when I wrote my first rap, I rapped because the boys in my class was rapping. And I was like, well, I want to do that too. That looks like a lot of fun. So I went home, I stayed up for like 3 more hours, wrote something to Lil Wayne and Millie, went back to algebra class, and it was good. It was good for my first rap. And everybody was just kind of just in it, and the response that I got gave me the confidence to keep rapping. So it's just I know that I have a lot of room for improvement, but if I didn't have that moment of gratification and satisfaction, then maybe I wouldn't have been inspired to become a rapper. But because I had performed, when we were supposed to be doing our assignments, then I don't know if I'd be here today.
Now is that a Millie verse, the same verse that you wound up rapping for J. Cole as well?
So you say that girl really sad girl. Yeah, that is, because it was my only like super long rap, and I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe if I do something super long, you know, maybe he'll sign me, maybe someone will notice. So that was the rap that I had did for him, and that was like my go-to. Like when you first starting out, I feel like every rapper kind of has like their go-to rap, and that was mine.
You got to have like one solidified verse in the bag just in case
right. And it's memorized and you just ready to go. And it's just crazy that you even brought up that moment, because when I see that video, that little girl, I stood outside after the concert, because, you know, when you think that you run into someone who you look up to and respect, you thinking, okay, I'm about to get on too. That wasn't the case. So I'm just so happy to see the progression, the journey that I've had to go through to get to this point. Like, and it's just basically just living out my dreams.
I've seen you speak on, your admiration, especially in your younger years, of J. Cole. You know, growing up, going to concerts, even going to a concert by yourself to go see J. Cole perform. Now to know that you are almost rubbing shoulders with Cole, you're in a lot of the same rooms as him. You know, what does this all mean, man? What does it feel like?
It feels like I'm getting somewhere, but like I said, like I'm constantly just trying to just progress and get better. So I'm not comfortable. I'm like grateful that I'm even able to, you know, be on the same playlist. Our names are each other, but it's just like I'm still new. I have such a long more way to go, and I need to still build up my catalog. So it's like, yes, I feel great, but it's just like a lot of more work to do.
Now, before we leave the younger years for a second, talk to me back about your high school days for a second. I know that you were a former high school athlete. I read somewhere that you used to run track and play volleyball, play basketball. You were even like athlete of the year at one point. Is this true?
Yeah, I was female athlete of the year. My name is in the gym. I was quarterback of the powder puff team. I did the 4x100 hurdles, and I was an outside hitter. I was MVP of my conference. We won conference. So I was a little tomboy, and I'm very competitive because of my athletic background. So I love to you know, put on some cleats or put on some shoes and compete.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to hear like how good you were in all of these sports. Like that shit is impressive.
Thank you. Well, you know, I had a 25-inch vertical. Your girl got hops, and I had a mean spike back in the day. I'm also interested in getting back into beach volleyball, because I be training, but after a couple weeks, that shit gets boring. So I'm trying to get back into, you know, like volleyball, beach volleyball, so I can look cute in some Spanx.
I ain't gonna lie, the 25-inch vertical is serious. Like, you might be able to dunk a basketball.
Oh my gosh, I've tried, and it's like I don't think it's enough, but I've tried.
That's funny. So then the high school days, what do you think that there's something about, you know, you playing sports and that competitive nature that you had that kind of groomed you for the career that you're in now?
Definitely. It taught me not to give up and to, you know, to withstand adversity, because I remember, first of all, when I was playing volleyball, I wasn't that good. A lot of girls like started playing volleyball in elementary school, middle school, year round. I started playing like my freshman, sophomore year. I remember coming to tryouts, and I was a freshman, and I was like, where's varsity? I want to try out for varsity. And they was all looking at me like, who is this? I was like a new girl too. And they were like, who the fuck is this bitch? So anyways, I'm like, I feel like I'm good enough. I'm athletic, and at that time, I could play any sport and be good at it. With volleyball, not so much. So I ended up making up JV. Next year, you know, got into varsity, and I remember there were only 2 slots for outside hitters, and there was 3 girls. And I remember like telling one of the girls, I'm gonna take your spot. And what did I do? I took her spot. So I'm very competitive. I have goals that I set for myself, and I feel like that competitive nature and me having to, you know, prove myself to make varsity, to prove myself to get that starting like spot, that's what pushes me, and that's what's in my blood. So it's just like, it goes back to people talking shit about me. I don't care if people don't believe in me. I'm here for me, and I'm here for my fan base. So it's like, as long as I got my tough skin, and as long as I'm putting in the work, because if you training, you can only get better. If I'm putting in the work, I can only get better. So I know that I'm straight, and I know that my future is bright, because time and time again since I was a kid, I proved myself that I can do whatever I put my mind to.
So after then high school, as the story goes, you went on to San Diego State and then USC, and you now have a college degree. And I will say you're not in a large company because there's not many other rappers that have college degrees. You know this.
I know that.
Do you feel as if maybe that gave you, some sort of edge, or maybe it did the opposite? Maybe you feel like, if you would have got out to a faster start, maybe you'd be further. How do you think, college helped or hurt your career?
Both. I feel like it made me start a little later, but at the same time, I feel like it built up my confidence. Like there's no room that you can't put me in that I'm not, able to just work. Like I used to talk with like so much slang. I couldn't, speak up publicly. But my major was communication, so I was forced to give public speeches. I went to University of Southern California. It's a predominantly white school. I was forced to be in rooms where my peers thought that they were better than me. So it's just like all of this, it's crazy. Like I feel like adversity is a reoccurring thing in just my life, my lifespan. So it's nothing new to me, and I feel like college taught me a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned in corporate America or the street. Like it taught me a lot of invaluable skills. So I feel like it gave me a competitive edge for the person that I am. I feel like the type of person that I am needed that, because not everybody does need to go to school, but I do encourage it because it could change your perspective on a lot of things.
I feel like one of the true definitions of like an ice girl is somebody who gets to it no matter what, somebody who's on her shit. Do you feel like if music didn't work out, you would still be doing your thing on your grind, at a high level?
Yeah, I always tell people, so if I wasn't rapping, I would have been a beautician because I enjoy making women look bomb, or I would have been a politician because I love debating. So I would have been one of those two, but I'm like, I'm a hard worker and hard workers get rewarded. So I definitely could see myself excelling in whatever I put my mind to in life.
What does Saweetie the politician look like? Would you be Democrat, Republican? Would you be pro-Trump, anti-Trump? What kind of things would you be fighting for and against?
Now you already know them answers, bro. Democratic and for sure anti-Trump. He is out of pocket. But I think I would, I know that it's like, I know it's like TV, but Olivia Pope, like in Scandal, I could for sure see myself taking care of business like that.
I like that. Is there a specific stance that you would build your campaign on? Like some people are like, I want healthcare for everyone, or I want everyone to have opportunity for housing, or I want to tackle unemployment. What would be Saweetie's baseline that she'd build her campaign around?
I would tackle education. Because it is important for women who look like me, women and men who look like me, to know that they have the ability to get out of their circumstances. Education, it would be community, because the community is what influences the young people's mind. And if there's an unhealthy ecosystem, then how can they succeed in life if they're constantly boxed into, these negative, fake stereotypes that minorities are given? Because I'm speaking from a minority standpoint. So education, communities, and single mothers. My parents co-parented, so I'm not saying that my mom was a single mom, but I had a single parent dad and a single parent mom, and I've seen two young minorities trying to get it on their own. I was constantly being babysat by someone else, and it's just like, do you see those three things that kind of affect a minority growing up? So if they don't have the proper education, if they don't have a healthy community, and if they don't have two parents at home, they're mind fucked. So it's just like, for us to even get to college, for me to even be here, that's a testimony within itself. So I feel like it is my duty to go back and give back to my community. And if I don't do that, then that's a disservice. And I don't need to be a politician to do that, which is why I'm starting my own organization. And we're actually filing the legal papers this week so that I can get that started.
Congratulations on that. That seems major. Is politics something that you'd ever see yourself doing way down the line, or would you rather just, focus on maybe your own organization and build change that way?
I think I'm interested in both. The more I educate myself, my grandmother was an activist and a protester. She was Miss Black Nebraska. Her name was Roxanne Harper. I love her so much. She constantly is in my ear and is talking about change and purpose. And, you know, I thank God for like putting me in this position, but I always felt like, you know, being famous is cool and having a lot of followers is cool and being recognized is cool, but I feel like I have a purpose, and the more that I learn about, you know, our community and the struggles that we're facing, I feel like it is my duty to make that change. So I feel like I do want to start change with, you know, getting into politics later on down the line, and also making change with my organization, which isn't legal yet, but hopefully by the end of this year, you know, we can get that foundation going.
Speaking of, you know, backing organizations and things, what can you tell me about the Money Making Mommies brand?
Oh, you did your research, bruh. Okay.
Always got to do the research.
You asking some good questions. Money Making Mommy. So I started that in college, and I remember just being in my 2-hour history class, and it was just boring. And I'm like, okay, I'm a doodle. So I started doodling. I drew some girls, took a picture of it, wrote Money Making Mommies underneath it, and posted it to my Instagram. I think I had like 18,000 followers. Like, crazy, right? To me, that was a lot of followers back in the day. And then all of my followers like, girl, put that on a t-shirt. And I used to do these skits, and I used to be like, shout out to all of my money making mommies out there hustling, getting to the bag, going to work, because I was going to college and I was working like 2-3 jobs, odd jobs, so it's like, you know, different jobs at the same time. So I was like, shout out to all my girls who are hustling. So I made that and I put on a t-shirt, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is cool. End up making like $10,000-$12,000 off of that. But for me at the time, like, I'm like, this is a lot of money. So it kind of just is like, it was crazy because the mission statement kind of, it just made sense, because I was showing love to all the girls who was hustling, and they were showing love by, you know, buying my t-shirt. So it was a brand that I was super proud of, and I might, you know, bring it back one time.
I mean, the MO behind it is still very much your brand, right? You know, Money Making Mommies, being proactive, get into it. And now you have, you know, your own actual merch. So it kind of seemed like it was all on the journey, you know?
Yeah. Supporting women, and especially hardworking CEO hustling women, like that's always been, you know, my passion. And it's something that, you know, the Icy Girl is kind of built on. So I went from being a money-making mommy to being an Icy Girl to now having pretty bitch music. So as you can see, there's like a underlying, you know, support of just a hustling ass woman.
Did you have the campus lit? Did you have people walking around in Money Making Mommies merch and shit, or was it just like people from like outside?
I would say both. I think it'd be funny. It's funny when like people in class would like find me on social media, because I would lie. I'd be like, I don't have no Instagram. But they'd be like, girl, I found you and I bought one of your t-shirts. So it was nice to see like my peers supporting, you know, my entrepreneurship with my line.
I want to talk about just family for a second, because it seems like you come from a family of greatness, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to just spit a few here. So your pops played in the NFL. Your cousin is Gabrielle Union. Your cousin's pops is MC Hammer. And then Zaytoven is like kind of your cousin. Is all of this true?
Zaytoven is my cousin. Blood or no blood, that's my cousin. We grew up together. And my grandfather played for the 49ers. He got a Super Bowl ring. But yeah, I feel like that is a true statement to show that I come from a family that works hard to get what we want. And also my uncle coaches for the Philadelphia Eagles. And my auntie is president of ticketing for the Raiders. That's it. But let's just like, when people hear that, it's crazy, because that's an example of just Black excellence. And it's unfortunate that some people kind of try to like say, oh, she's only successful because of that. No, I'm successful because I come from a family that gets what they want because they're motivated themselves. Like, they're self-starters and we're self-made. So it's like no one knew that I was rapping. Zay heard Icy Girl, we call her Nikki, but Gabrielle, her Icy girl. And they were like, why didn't you tell us you was rapping? And for me, like, I'm prideful and I like to get it on my own. So it's like, yeah, I come from a family full of greatness, but we all did it because we all worked to get there on our own.
Damn, that's real. And you're just the next in the lineage of, you know, people that are going to do great things. I wish I had more successful people in my family, man. Goodness.
You know what? I always feel like it's my grandma. My grandma a preacher, and she always praying for us. So I feel like the reason why my family is so successful because she always praying, and we got some angels. So.
Yeah, you need that spiritual help sometimes, man. You need that.
Oh, for real. Them prayers, damn.
Exactly.
Really
now, talk to me just real quick. I feel like the dating realm, especially in hip hop, has become a thing where people love to see the gifts that these couples give each other. We see it between Cardi and Offset and Beyonce and Jay-Z and you and Quavo now are amongst those. You know, we saw you get him a red Chevy, like an old school car, and then like Valentine's Day, he's bringing violinists to play your music to wake you up. Do you feel like it's like a difficult battle, not to compete with other people, but just like for your own party, you always got to try to, you know, make it better than the last year and one up it?
In a relationship, yes, it is. Because it's like, what's difficult is you're always trying to get someone something that they can't buy themselves. But how do you get
somebody who already has everything?
Has everything, right? So it's like you have to get really creative. So when I got that car, I got a car that was I got a 6'1" Impala. So it was like that's super hard to find. So that was like my way of being creative. Like, yes, you could have bought it, but I had to actually do research. I went to like 3 different car shops. Oh my gosh, I was so stressed out because I was trying to find something that he couldn't get himself. So it definitely, like, you're able to see how creative you can get.
Where do you draw like inspiration from? Like, are you like, okay, I know that he or she likes it, and I'm only asking all of this for future purposes for me. I mean, if I ever need to get a place.
If you got someone special, her birthday coming up?
No, just asking for a friend. That's it.
Oh, you got a boo?
I mean, maybe, but how does one go about, you know what I mean, finding like the little low-key shit?
Okay, media training, I see you. Yeah, man. I just feel like being creative, it just shows that person that you're listening. I feel like when I first met him, I would just pay attention to the things that he liked, and something that he does like is old school cars. I remember when he was riding around in one of his old schools before I met him, and he was playing Tupac, and I was like, damn, this nigga fine. So I always knew that he liked old school cars, so that's why I got him.
And my last thing on dating, because I don't want to make this into like a dating thing, but at least in the past couple of weeks, it seems like, you know, Twitter's been having this debate about, you know, women dating men that have a 9-to-5, and it seems to be extremely frowned upon. Saweetie, does it matter, or should women only date, quote, entrepreneurs?
So when you know what, that was brought to my attention, and when I came out with rich nigga 8-figure, that's my type, like, some men were coming for me, but I was like, I'm not frowning down on you not having 8 figures. If anything, this should motivate you to get 8 figures, because, you know, it don't matter what you do, you have the ability to create that type of financial lifestyle for you if you hustling. So it was like, for me, it's just, I like to motivate. That is something that the Icy brand stands on. So it's just like, I love to motivate the man, and I love to motivate the woman, and who don't want a fly and flashy lifestyle. So ain't nothing wrong with that.
I like that. That was a nice, safe answer. I appreciate that.
But it's not safe. That's real though. That's real. Cause I didn't start off being a 8-figure. I mean, I don't want to, whatever figure woman I am. Like, so I can't. I don't come from money. So it's something that I had to work hard and attain. So you feel me? Like I can't talk about something that I once was.
Is Saweetie an 8-figure woman yet?
You know, Speedy almost there, bro. So stay tuned, and I'm trying to make Forbes list. That is something that is on my goals.
I like that. I hope to see that before the year's out, maybe next year. That would be crazy. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about, real quick before we get out of here, Pretty Bitch Music, PVM is the project. It's coming out soon, and I know that you have another single coming out on your birthday. Is that right?
It's not a single. It's just a song that reminds me of classic vintage Saweetie when she was doing her car rap. So you can expect something like that.
And talk to me about the project. What can people look forward to?
Pretty bitch music. So for one, bitch does stand for something because I'm from the West Coast. Love Tupac. And I was inspired by Thug Life. So for me, bitch, boss, I for independent, T for tough, because you gotta have tough skin to be in this industry. C, CEO, because I run my own shit, and I'm from the Bay, so H means hyphy. So all those moods can kind of be, found in the Pretty Bitch music soundtrack. It'll be more than 15 songs. So this is definitely going to be an extensive catalog compared to Icy and High Maintenance.
Yeah, your last projects only had maybe 7 or 8 tracks on them, right?
It was like 7. Mm-hmm.
And so this will be is this your first time putting out a project of this length?
Yeah, 15 songs. That's 15 or more songs. That's like 3 times or 2 times what I'm normally, putting out. But I had a lot of time since my type to really sit back and figure out what I wanted to talk about. So you can expect a lengthy track.
Can people expect some more sample flips, or is it going to be mostly original stuff? What can people look forward to?
They can look forward to just bomb ass music because that's what I make.
All right, fair enough. Do you have a release date on it yet, or are we still waiting on that?
Late summer.
Late summer. All right, we're at this point. I know summer technically hasn't even begun yet, but unofficially we like midsummer now. So we'll look for maybe an August situation.
No, we not midsummer. We didn't even hit the first day of summer, so quit trying.
Unofficially, summertime is really just June, July, May, June, July, August. You know what I'm saying?
You did this. Remind me of the courses in class when they be trying to break down and explain themselves.
May, June, July, August. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, but officially, according to the calendar, summer ain't started yet.
All right, so late summer then. So that must be August or September. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, Saweetie, I appreciate you taking the time. Be safe and keep staying away from this coronavirus if you can, all right?
Yeah, be safe and look out for a lot of music coming out this year. We stacked up over here.